Hey everybody, I am Red King from Send More Robots, and welcome back to Space Engineers. So I know this video's quite a bit late. That's primarily because of the busy holiday weekend, everything like that. But we're gonna get through this video, we're gonna get this done, and I'm gonna be on a timely manner with the Space Engineers video as best as I can, just because Thursdays are always crazy for me. But let's talk about this Thursday's most recent update, which was mainly bug fixes, but they did put in a new block and a new feature. So this is the projector block. And as you can understand, projector block does exactly what it says. It projects things, specifically ships, stations, anything of that sort. There are two symbols on here. There's the plus sign and the minus sign. So the plus sign actually indicates where the top is, while the minus sign indicates where the front of the ship faces, or the front of the station, whatever you make. And with these, it's pretty simple. So you go into your ship, you go into a projector, you go into blueprints. This will create something. So I have a grav fighter here, which I've shown in previous videos, and now you can see it has been projected. And the cool thing is this can be used in survival as well. So that's the primary purpose of this, is to be used in survival, so that shipbuilding and station building and anything like that that you already have pre-set up is a little bit easier to do, a little bit easier to make, and to kind of enhance the experience, so that you could have, if we do massive worlds where we do survival settings, and you can have factories that produce ships a lot faster. It's really cool. I love the way this is going. I don't just like it. I love the where this is going. But for the time being, the projectors right now project specific things, and they show off the ship. And as you can see, it's got that nice Star Wars feel, that hologram look to it. But the thing is, your ship has to be touching the projector, or touching an object that is touching said projector. This one isn't touching anything, so as far as my welder is concerned, nothing is here. I can't do anything, I can't touch anything, it all is just craziness. But if I simply build up, you can now see that this block is highlighted more than the other ones, and I can actually interact with it now. Which means now that I've actually built it, and if you build it in survival, I can build the stuff around it now too. So anything that's survival ready will be ready for that, because if you have all the connection and the tubes in there ready to go, everything will work, because this will allow you to build your whole way through the actual ship. See, just building along, going, doing my own thing. So now, I mean, basically all I've done is built the interior of the ship. I have made the connection tubes. All the connections are now working. So if I build, as you can see, that connection tube is all set. So if I build that, now that these reactors are all set, they're actually working. It continues on and on and on like that. And it's really cool that they have set this up. It makes me happy to see them build something that'll make our lives, well, our gaming lives a little bit easier in the world of Space Engineers. Now, to look at these little other settings that they have for the projector, they have these settings, which is what I had already pre-set off. So horizontal, that's your left and your right. Vertical offsets up and down. Forward is back and forward. Pitch, yaw, roll. Those all help, and they all work in 90 degrees, which is what you're going to work with, because then it fully rotates it in one way or the other, which will be really useful for total ship builds. Now, for bigger ships or bigger items like stations or anything like that, you definitely need a large ship, because it comes in two flavors. It's small, large, which is just like everything else. So we'll control projector. I don't have very many large ships. I actually have only two, which is the Ravager and the relay station. We're actually going to use the relay station. I have some pre-set up ideas for this too. Pre-set up, not ideas, but values on this right here. So it's already offset and everything like that. And the cool thing is it holds those offsets no matter what. So this right here will actually allow me to, start building this. Now that it's connected to something, I can start building it and actually have a relay station out ready to go. The idea I kind of have for this is to have a ship that all it does is projection. So if you want to have relay stations out there or anything like that, you have a ship, all it does is provide projections. And it'll fly over to the spot you need, and then it just projects downwards or upwards, wherever you want to project, and it will create the object you're looking for, which will just allow you to build it real quick and get it out. So now we have new kind of layers to this game, where we can actually go further out into space. Like, I gotta go to that asteroid, project this, build it out there, come back. very little effort. Actually building ships that are, you know, designed to go out and build out there is what makes this so much better, because now you can get, you know, with all the mods out there that we have for small assemblers and small refineries and things like that, you can actually build those ships now, send them out, and then just build new colonies out there. So if we're doing massive survivals, this could be a huge territory thing. This could be the difference between owning an asteroid and losing all the materials. And it's all really nice. It's really cool. The next thing, we're gonna build this up actually, is if you build a ship that has a projectors in it and stuff in it already, like if it's pre-existing. Oh, okay. There we go. There we built. So let's say this ship is, you know, I built the ship all the way. I kind of have, I have an idea of how I wanted it. Everything looks good. And I'm like, oh, okay, this ship worked out really nice. I like where this went. I love my ship, da-da-da-da, you know, all that goodness. And then I get into a dogfight with it, and the bad stuff happens. My ship gets murdered. So we will turn this off right now. So as you can see, the ship is incomplete now. There's no projection, there's nothing over it. Let's say this is just all this got damaged, all of it broken off. I barely able to limp home or something, or I was able to draft it, or I managed to get back to my other ship. And now I need to rebuild it. If you actually build the projector into it, which I think I'll start doing in all of my builds now, is to build a projector inside, you can actually have it preset to bring up. So if I turn it back on, it automatically erases whatever was there, but it keeps your presets. So now that it's already there, I can go back in the projector, my blueprints, put the grav fighter back, and it is projecting what is left, what needs to be built left over. And so I can be like, okay, now it's time to replace all of this, all of my fine machinery, so that I can get this bad boy back out into the field. And it makes life so easy comparatively, which is really cool. It really helps with building things, making you know, making those repairs to the ships that we love. Because again, like survival, the biggest thing with survival is like you work so hard on a ship, whether small or large, and then something happens and it gets destroyed. And especially if we're doing that like mass survival where there's other players, there's totally going to be griefers. There are totally going to be other players who are going to grief the crap out of you. And you know what? It sucks to lose a big, beautiful, or even a small ship to people who are just out there to destroy your stuff. I've done that. I've gone and destroyed people's things before, and so it always is a terrible thing to do and a terrible way to feel, because you're like, oh, I put all this work and effort into it, and now we can just rebuild. We can constantly rebuild, and we never have to worry about a ship disappearing again. We never have to worry about losing out on a ship because, you know, it just didn't work out, because now we can put it into blueprints. We can copy paste it, well, not really copy paste it, but we can add it to our blueprint list in survival and just forever have our ships, so that, you know, that maybe the fear isn't there anymore, but I mean, that's how they kind of work in there. It's still an expense. Like, you still have to think about it expense-wise, which is what a lot of players will think about. They'll think about how expensive it is to keep building your ship, and that's why it'll come down to a minimalist and survivalist and survival, which is where we're going with this. But yeah, I mean, that's kind of the big things for this. The next big thing they have is, let us get into this. I'm gonna cut the power, so now there's no more power running through that. As you can see, everything is pretty normal. It's all good. The new thing they have set up is show grid pivot, and this actually shows a new pivot point. So there's a pivot point there. You see one there, and let me, I think if I turn the ship back on, let me turn the masses off. Oh, well, actually it shows the new pivot point for this ship, which is right there. So, what that basically refers to is, let's say, we're gonna copy. So, the pivot point itself refers to in which is the way it rotates in the world. I'm pretty sure that's what it means. But that's how, I mean, actually we'll do it this way. So we will do this. and then we'll copy it. So on something, it creates a new pivot point for the ship itself, which is really cool for rotational value and how you're gonna where you're gonna put it in the projector, really, because then it gives it a new position, so that when it's projected, it actually sits in that position rather than having to mess with it or do anything like that. Personally, I'm just gonna I'll just mess with the values inside of the projector, which will give me all the same things. But I want to thank you all for joining me on this episode. I know it was a little bit late, but hopefully you all enjoy it. If you liked the video, felt it was informative or anything like that, subscribe if this is your first time seeing these videos. I hope you go and watch the rest of them. And always leave a comment. I'd like to hear more about the comments, what you think about these new updates. Let us know. Let me know specifically, since I do this. And tell me what you want to see, because I was thinking, I have a few ideas for new, kind of new things I want to do with Space Engineers, but I have to kind of hash them out a little bit and figure it out. But look out for other videos. I'm going to do my version of a system update pretty soon. So, thank you all again for watching this. I am Red King from Said More Robots. Always remember who you are and what you are. Don't go causing any trouble out there in that crazy, crazy world. And always remember, life is hard, work is hard. But as long as we all have each other, we will all get through it together. Bye, guys. Outhouse in the middle of the forest. Holy crap, I just set the woods on